So you want to up your game in reaction videos and vlog quality, right? I know what it's like out there. There are so many YouTube channels, so many people creating similar content. So how do you differentiate yourself from the rest, and how do you find your audience? Now there's one thing in filmmaking that gets a massive oversight, and that is lighting. So this is the Neewer 3-pack dimmable bicolor 480 LED video light and stand lighting kit. That is a mouthful to say. It has a color temperature of 3200 to 5600 Kelvin. Now this video is sponsored by Neewer, who reached out to me asking me to review some of their products. I asked if I could review some lighting because for me, as I mentioned, lighting is such a huge oversight that it can make the difference of making your video look from average to shit hot. Can I say that? So I just want to say thank you, Neewer, for reaching out and trusting me to make this video review for you. Now, they did send me a box of goodies, and oh my days, when it came in the mail, I was like, whoo, look at this. Now, it's been months since I've actually had it delivered, so I've been dying to get into it. So this is the box in question. Look at this good stuff. Now, these are just the lights. What? Let's get it open, shall we? Don't need that. Don't need that. So in here, we have one light, two light. I can't quite reach the bottom. Three lights. And also, that was a stand. I think it fell out the end. Sorry, but it would have come in a box. Just like this one. So it comes with 3 stands and 3 lights. So within each box comes a stand. And these stands feel pretty good. I've seen some stands where they're completely made out of plastic, and that's okay. It becomes quite light. They do break really easily, so you've got to be careful what you get. These feel pretty sturdy. It's got a nice grip, feels nice to hold actually. The screws have a plastic grip on it to be able to tighten to the height that you want, and also the width of the legs themselves. So let's get them out, take a look. So the first thing I noticed is that after you've unlocked this first mechanism, there's a bit of a spring going on. I wonder if it'll happen on the other one. Ooh. So check this out. If I undo this one, you've got to be careful not to poke yourself in the face. So the reason why I chose to review these lights is because, as you can see, I'm in a new setup. This will be the new YouTube studio for all my reaction videos, all my vlogs, and clearly my unboxing and review videos. That's why the shelves are bare, because I'm still in the middle of sorting this out. But anyway, I have a set of lights that I used in my previous setup, but I wanted something more permanent because obviously with my day job, I'm out filming different things around the world, so I have to take my lights with me. So I wanted something that was a more permanent setup that I can just leave, you know, fix up, leave, and just use them as and when I need them, without having to reset them, you know, get the stands out. So for me, this isn't going to be a major issue with the springs, but something to be wary about, especially around minors as well, if you're working with children or animals for that matter. So let's get it extended. It's a bit of a, feels like a tight sort of fitting. It doesn't quite go smooth as I'd hoped, but again, as I'm on a permanent setup, I don't really care. Now the upper half of this actually works better. So again, just tighten that up and tighten this up. So it extends to about, what's that? Maybe about 6 feet tall. So it's pretty good, it's a nice height on it. The spread of the legs actually, spread of the legs. The area that the legs take up probably is around a couple of feet, so it's not like a huge tripod or anything, so it's quite compact. So it's great for small spaces, putting in the corner, that kind of thing. So let's get some of the lights out, because that's what we're here to see, and give it an honest review. So as soon as you open the box, we have the case for the lights nicely packaged. Now it doesn't come with a large bag that you can store all the legs and all the lamps within the case, so unfortunately you will have to carry 3 of these and 3 legs. Again, the legs don't come in a case either. So this is the case for the Neewer LED light. It's got a nice Velcro strap at the top here. And it has a singular zip around the front. When you open it, you have the usual silica gel thing. Do not eat, don't eat it. It comes with package contents, which says it comes with a carry case, the light, the package contents, the power adapter, diffuser, and an instruction manual. Of course, we won't be looking at any of that. This looks like a warranty card, instruction manual, if you wanted to ever read that. Stuff you can do, barn doors, diffusers, things and stuff. Okay, so this is the lamp. It's actually a bit smaller than I was expecting given the size of the box that it comes in. Huge difference, huge difference. But it's quite nicely made actually. It's got a nice sort of copper look on the locking mechanisms here. On the back of the light you have 2 battery inputs. You also have the on and off switch here. Now it's not just a simple flick to off, flick to on. There's actually 2 on options. The left side uses the lamp off the battery. The right side uses it off the mains. These 2 dials are pretty cool. One is a yellow light and one is white, so you can change the temperature of the light to suit your tastes. So let's get this on the stand and see how it all works together. Okay, so it feels pretty sturdy. I like it. Alrighty, so you can tilt it and tighten it with the screws on the side here, whatever position you want. So the light can do a full 360. Also worth noting that on the side, you have a 1/4 inch thread here, which you can mount directly onto a tripod if you didn't want to take a light stand with you. One of the nice features about this is the diffuser. Typically you just slide it at the top, but in this case, it's all secure. All you have to do is push one of the sides of the frame in so it clips, and then you can simply slide it out. Ah! Here's the diffuser. It's just made of like a plastic. It's quite smooth one side, the side that goes down onto the LEDs, and the other side is sort of like a frosted, textured piece of plastic. That slots right in again. Simply pull the clip back. Now it won't go anywhere. It's worth noting that these lights do not come with batteries, but you can pick them up pretty cheaply on Amazon anyway, so it's not like it's going to be a huge investment. However, it does come with power, so you can just use them straight off the bat, especially if you're on a time constraint. So what I'll do is show you a comparable video showing you what it's like to not have any sort of lighting like this, and how these studio lights will make an enormous difference to the quality of your footage. So here we are. This is what you would call a typical setup from new content creators on YouTube, and particularly for YouTube reactors. So YouTube reactions are a video genre that I'm heavily involved with, and I get inundated with recommended videos from channels I've never heard of, and the amount of people that I see that just do not give a monkey's about the image quality. Now when you're scrolling through YouTube and you're looking for some new content, particularly from a channel that you've never heard of before, the ones that catch your eyes tend to be the ones that look the nicest, whether you realize it or not. And there'll be thumbnails that you go, ooh, that looks nice. Click. If you can hook them in with the thumbnail and then continually reel them in through your video, I bet by the end of that video, you'll have a new subscriber. So it's really important not only to have nice thumbnails, but it's also really important to value the quality of lighting. Now, as I say, this is what you see amongst most thumbnails on YouTube for reaction videos in particular. This very sort of bland, boring looking background, house lights on, it looks terrible, right? So here's the difference between using the house lights and just actual studio lights. Woo, what a transformation. Now, do you see the difference it makes? It's huge, a massive amount. Now, I know the background is still quite bare, and that's because I'm still moving into the studio, but generally speaking, the lighting looks so much better. The light across my face looks a lot more flattering, got the rim light behind, got a nice side light, gives you a nice shadow across the face here. So you might be thinking, Dan, that is all well and good, but what are the downsides to this product? And of course, this is a fair review, so I've only had use of this today, so I've not had to experience it in a field test. However, things that I've noticed during the filming of this product review for example, of the spring action in this. Now I showed you the spring action earlier. That can be an issue. I've had products, not these, but I've had another product where it had a very similar spring action within the stand. I packed it away, you've put it in a bag, and the next time you come to use it, the bag gets opened and it just pops out, and it does catch you off guard. Having said that, they don't spring out that much. They maybe spring a couple of inches, which I think is because of this feature, which is the next issue that I have. Now, obviously, every time you extend the stand, you have these screws that you just kind of lock off to keep it the height that you want. Now, I found that the copper plated one here on the U frame actually catches on the black plastic one here. You can get around it by just turning this around and then tightening up the copper plate. But I think this is where the spring action comes in. I think when you unscrew it and it springs out a couple of inches, that gives you clearance to then tighten this. So that might be a deliberate design feature, but I've yet to get that confirmed by Neewer. So after I recorded this video, I heard back from Neewer, who said that the spring action on the stands is actually a safety mechanism to protect the lights or other equipment if they crash down, a form of cushioning. I think one feature that I would like on this is another dial for brightness. These two dials control the white light and the yellow light. Now obviously the more you turn it up, the brighter that light colour becomes, right? But what if you've set the tone? What if you've already got the colour balance exactly what you want, but it's just a bit too bright or maybe a bit too dark? When you're in a time sensitive environment, you can't be fiddling with the knobs all the time going, yep, bit more of that, bit more of that, less of that, bit more of this, trying to get it back again. It's just faster just to go, crank the dial down and you've got your brightness down. So I think maybe having a third just to control that might just make that bit a little bit easier. It might not be a factor to consider for most people perhaps, but again, in a field test, I find that's always nice to have, just a quick temperature change and a dial change for the brightness as well. Those few seconds you save trying to figure it out, you know, you multiply that by each shot that you do across so many days of filming, you know, you get the idea. You'd save so much time. So those are valuable seconds. And finally, my only other criticism is just the smoothness of how the stand extends. Obviously you just turn the dial and you pull it, but it seems to jolt a little bit. It feels like it catches on something on the inside. It just feels like it could do being a little bit smoother, especially when you're just pulling out really quickly. But again, for me, in my permanent setup, it does not matter. As I mentioned way back in the video, the YouTube community is just huge, right? And YouTube reactions as well has just gone straight through the roof. It's so saturated now. How do you distinguish yourself from everyone else if everyone is reacting to the same content and everyone is doing the same thing, right? Get yourself some lights. It will make a huge difference and they will just elevate your videos to the next level. You can tell these lights that are around me that they're doing a pretty good job of making me look awesome! If you're just starting out on YouTube, just dipping your toe in the water, trying to figure out what gear you need, obviously camera quality is obviously a factor to consider, but it's not the most important thing. If you can get good audio and good lighting, then people will forgive you for the camera quality. It will make a difference, and you can always upgrade your camera gear later on. If you are already in the YouTube business and you already have lights, then perhaps consider getting more lights, or perhaps considering getting gels for your lights to create new colors like this, for absolutely no other reason other than it looks friggin' cool, huh? Next thing you know, your subs are going through the roof and you can roll around in your cash. One thing I haven't touched upon yet, which you're probably thinking, how much are these lights to make me look like a Greek god? Now at the time of this recording, the price is just shy of £170. That includes all the 3 lights, the stands, and all the power cables for those. And of course the bags that they come in as well. That's the thing about Neewer, they have some incredible products, a massive range actually, from lighting to tripods to monitors, all kinds of things. But their prices are really, really good value for money. For the average vlogger, reactor / content creator, these are a perfect piece of kit for anyone's needs. So hopefully what you've learned today is that lighting is so important that should never, ever, ever, ever be overlooked. So So what are you waiting for? Go and buy your lights. Also, another shout out to our sponsor Neewer, who were kind enough to send me these lights. Really enjoying using them. They're definitely going to be a nice feature within the studio. So thank you again for reaching out to me. Until next time, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.